Hey folks, we're gonna do a job site tour here and I'm gonna show you a couple things. And one of them shows a corner of a job and we're gonna show you how to achieve that specific corner because it can look like you don't know what you're doing. But if you know what you're doing when you build on a vertical angle like that, how to get interlock or bridging of your bond lines. So we'll talk about how to do that here, but enjoy this job site tour. Here we go. What's up YouTube? Here at Almond Landscape on a little quick job site tour from a few years ago. The project we built, I don't know, man. I'll have to look. I really don't know. Hunter, I'll look it up and Hunter can put the date right there. That's when it was built. But a handsome little job here with a great view out over beautiful Fairfield County. Built this a few years ago. I want to say 2018 maybe. I don't know. And here we are, 2023. But just a handsome little project. A few things here to talk about. We don't like a short wall like this, and again, an outside obtuse angle is kind of tough, but we generally will try to overlap these block. But what you run into when it's an obtuse angle like that, you can't overlap your block as easily because of that angle going out. So I think that's the solution we've made there. Mr. Bo probably remembers better than I do because I forget everything. But handsome little unilock Brussels wall there. And no, people gripe about the four corners here, which is something in an idealist world you want to avoid. But Bo always yells because the pattern in the unilock catalogs show four corners in it, so that's always Bo's source of contention with people griping about it. But just a great little tall backdrop here. These red twig dogwoods blocking in the backside of the patio here from the rest of the neighborhood. Just makes it just a cool little space. Just love this thing. This is back when we were doing on dense graded base. Could maybe stand a little cleaning, but really everything looks pretty awesome. So very happy with that job you can be proud of. You know, you want to build work you're proud of, right? And this is a great example of this job's 6 years old, I think, then somewhere in there, 5, I don't know if it was 2018 theoretically. Yeah, this is a neat part of the job here. And what I'll do, I don't know how I can green screen this and do it, but I want to show you a driveway extension that we did here. This was per the layout as per our owners or homeowners design, but you know, regarding that angle or whatever. But this was a vehicular grade or vehicular based project here, and you'll see what we did here in some photos. But we would do our geogrid entrained concrete edge restraint, and that would be, and I'll do another video. We'll cut to that clip now. Here we are at Almond HQ, and I want to show you our a good profile here of geogrid entrained concrete edge restraint. Love geogrid edge restraint. Here's what it do. So we're gonna lay out this geogrid on our base, and then we're gonna screed out over top of that these 9s, right? Whoa, right here. We're gonna screed our setting bed on top of this. Now in the meantime, this concrete edge restraint's not here, but that's the edge of our field. So we're then gonna take our pavers, and we're gonna lay our pavers over all these 9s, just like, or sand or whatever, just like so. Okay, and we're gonna lay them out. We're out to where the edge of our edge restraint is. But we're gonna put our bedding layer on here, just a quick makeup example, okay, whatever. And then, you know, we'd lay our paver field out. So then on the outer edges, what we would do is say that's the outer edge of our paver. We would then take our concrete and we'd pull the edging up, pull this, you know, put concrete up in here like that, let it lay down, and then take concrete. Again, refer to the video we have specifically on doing this, and we put concrete on top of it there. And so that way, when force is extruded, I guess, or extended onto these pavers, that's pulling on this paver, and all the paver field out into the actual main field is pushing down on the setting bed and then down on the paver, and it's pulling and sucking that edging in. So it's actually pulling it into the main field instead of blowing it out. So this all acts as one big surface here, and one big bearing pad. And so, you know, with these pavers here or here, that downward force is pulling on this geogrid all directions. So it makes this all kind of one mass. And that's the idea. I know it makes for a very strong system. Yeah, the concrete's gonna crack, whatever. But the thing about it is, it's gonna be a fractured break like that. It's not a smooth break, so it's not gonna just slide right past it. Now this product here is Perma-Edge. In most cases, we just use a regular high-strength Quikrete concrete. We will add we add some fiber to it. You can buy it on Amazon in packs, I mean, whatever. And we'll entrain that way, but it's a really strong system. And again, if it were done here, you know, that geogrid would be up into the pavers, you know, up in here, give or take, whatever. Again, Appalachian engineering we're doing at the time, you know, on that, we're running generally about 18 inches. So again, if I'm a vehicle, that force being pushed down on the pavers is pulling that edging in. So that's the concept. In here, you saw a couple photos of the whole setup and how we do it, and especially on that job even. So I hope this helps explain that a little bit, kind of shows you a neat project and how we will do geogrid entrained projects for pavers. So, and that's a system I want to say that we are the first people to do. My claim to fame on this little speck of rock orbiting the sun here, but who knows. What we do is we entrain that concrete like you saw, and you can see actually little pieces geogrid sticking up in here. Now definitely needing some maintenance here, some new sanding. Could even come in and lift a couple pavers here. Got a little bit of sinking and settling right at the edge. A lot of water run down through there. One of the things that's really tough about building along existing concrete like this is generally it's based on a clean open graded round stone. And what you'll have is, and we did this back again 6 years ago for vehicular. I was nervous to use open graded systems, so we did this to 2 ICPI vehicular spec, which is plus or minus 12 inches of road grade sub base and 1 inch of ASTM C33 sand, and which again is the ICPI spec. And you can see it's holding fine. There's nothing wrong with those specs. Just the open graded systems are so much faster, which you've seen a lot of videos on our channel about, whatever. But what you get is that sand will migrate sometimes because, again, this concrete is sitting on number 57 gravel usually, and that sand can just slowly work its way around. And so you'll have what we had here on this side happen, which is just tough to control, and it's kind of beyond our control, unfortunately. Although we did wrap it with geofabric, so it's kind of weird, but it wouldn't take much to pick that up and repair it, but you know, whatever. But it also needs, you can see a lot of water beating across here, so definitely the reason for our infiltration there. So when you build these kind of things up against concrete pads like this, you really want to make sure that geofabric's wrapped way up to make sure it's confining that sand in there or whatever. Any other work here we can't take credit for, but you know, that's what you run into there. So a little bit of a thing there, whatever. But that geogrid entrained edging, concrete edging, seems to really be the trick. I love it. And no heaving, no freeze thaw, no dead grass, you know, up to the edges or anything any worse than any other system, or the concrete for that matter, whatever. It turned out real good. So just a cool job here. Wanted to show that, and very happy with how it turned out. So we're gonna do a quick thing here showing on that project tour here. We were talking about the walls and how they were showing that exposed corner here on the job. I'm gonna show you, I forgot, and I don't remember if I already mentioned this or not, but I forgot how we did that. Bo reminded me of how we cut that. So I'm gonna make a couple quick examples here using this awesome setup we have here, which is all mobile in one place. So here we go, let's do this. And now what you can see is how this will start to unfold on that outside obtuse angle, right? And so we'll cut another one to where it'll fit, you know, up in here, but it'll be a more or a less dramatic cut. And so this way we're getting I kind of overdid that, but you get the idea here. And that's how we still get this face with that vertical line, but we still have interlock unit to unit, or bridging of, you know, bond lines unit to unit. So that's how you're going to do that on that outside edge. Here we go. On this one, we're only going to cut off just a little bit there, and so that it bridges and sits on this one. Then when you're cutting, how important it is to have a place you can get rid of scraps to very quickly and easily. So now you can see on this outside edge where we're going to put this guy up to it like that. Oh, that's like almost perfect. That's like awesome. And so now we still have, I might be yelling, we still have bridging, right, of our bond lines, but yet a vertical seam like that. So that's how you achieve that on an outside obtuse angle like that, with that style of block. So I hope that helps. Great setup here. I'm going to build a dedicated thing for that whole setup there. It's going to be pretty sweet, kind of like the Swihart concept, right? With that being said, that's it, folks. Like and subscribe, all that stuff. Wear your safety gear, and we'll catch you on the next one. We'll see you. Thanks.
Okay, so let me guess. You've done your budget for the year, you have your estimates out, your guys are operating efficiently, you have all the new tools, but there's still a number that you're missing. I have good news for you, because Element Software just came out with their new job costing feature, which was live in January of this year. And what it will do is it'll give you that missing piece of the puzzle. All the estimates that you've done, your guys will be able to put in their actual numbers as they go on their timesheets. And then at the end of the job, you'll be able to compare the two. So you'll see actual versus estimated. And not only will that let you know if you made any money at the end of the day, but it will allow you to estimate your future jobs even better than you were before. Because, you know, maybe you've always been just a few hours over or a lot of hours under on your retaining wall estimates. This will fix that, because you'll be able to see, like, oh, for a 40-foot linear wall, I used to think that it would take them 100 hours to do, but it really only takes them 75. So you'll get more work, you'll still be more profitable, because you're actually going to know everything. I guess that's the goal at the end of the day. So go check out goelement.com and look at their job costing feature. They have free tools on there. You can make a budget on there for free. You'll really know your numbers. So let's go really, really figure out our numbers.